The popular connotations of happiness get in the way of the work that we're trying to do, particularly in the United States. When we hear happy, we think, frisbees and beer and running around and just being silly and carrying on, and that's part of being happy. But there's more sober forms of happiness. There's being content, bouncing off the wall. Maybe that's fun to do on a Saturday night. But there's worshiping at church on a Sunday morning, and you're not supposed to be bouncing off the wall then, but you can be just as happy. People who are creative are happy at least in the broad sense of happiness. There are popular stereotypes about the tortured artist and the mentally ill genius, et cetera, and with a few exceptions, those are simply stereotypes. Those are myths. There is some evidence that creative writers have their share of bipolar disorder, but that's just one exception. I think most other realms in which we can say that creative work is being done, it's being done by happy people. It's being done by satisfied people who are flexible. I mean, unhappiness is the enemy of flexibility. You get really narrow when you're unhappy and depressed. In contrast, you get really open to possibility, to change, to looking at things in new ways if you're in a good mood. Researchers looked at Major League Baseball players. I think they looked at the baseball cards, the 1952 and 1953 seasons, and they simply coded, was the player smiling or not smiling on the card? And I believe the smile is worth about 11 years of life. That is just a remarkable finding. Now, mind you, the smile didn't make them live longer. The smile is a marker of presumably how they lived their life. Positive psychology is sometimes accused of ignoring reality. Don't you know that bad things happen in the world? And the answer is, of course, bad things happen in the world. However, the more informed positive psychology perspective is that one way to deal with problems is by identifying your strengths. Use those to leverage solutions to your problems. So we all know about post-traumatic stress disorder. That's in the news all over the place. And you read the newspaper accounts and you would think that every soldier who's over there in the combat zone is a basket case. But in point of fact, although PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is a real thing, it's a serious thing, it only happens to the minority of people in combat, and that's always been the case. We're looking at a phenomenon among deployed soldiers known as post-traumatic growth. We're going to look at this and see what lessons might be able to be learned from combat, from trauma more generally. Please don't mishear this. We're not going around saying that you should program stress and crisis into the lives of your children, hoping that they will grow from it. What it does mean is that don't write off your child as flawed for the rest of their life just because a bad thing might happen. People are pretty tough.